Attention passionate Buffalo, Bills fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Buffalo, Bills fans. Let's get to the news, so here we are, folks. The NFL offseason is heating up and the Bills are right in the thick of the buzz. The latest whispers around the league suggest that the Cincinnati Bengals might be exploring a trade that could send T. Higgins, one of their most talented wide receivers, over to Buffalo. Now, I know what you're thinking, T. Higgins. That's a big name, and if it happens, it could seriously shake things up in the AFC East and beyond. So let's break down what's going on behind the scenes and how this could impact Buffalo's chances of climbing even higher next season. First off, the Bengals are in a tricky spot. They're sitting at 5-6, and their defense is leaking points at a rate of nearly 28 points per game. That's not ideal, especially when you're trying to stay competitive in a division packed with offensive firepower. On top of that, Cincinnati's salary cap situation isn't exactly generous. They're sitting on just about $13 million in cap space. But with Jamar Chase's extension looming, they have some tough decisions to make. Their offensive line rebuild is also a priority, especially after allowing an average of 3-2 sacks per game. So it's clear that the Bengals are looking to shake things up and perhaps rebuild for the future, especially on the defensive front, where they need more depth at DB and edge rusher positions. Now, why would Cincinnati consider trading T. Higgins? Well, Higgins has been a consistent weapon for Joe Burrow, bringing a mix of size, speed, and contested catch ability that makes defenses sweat. Over the past 2 seasons, Higgins has been a red zone nightmare, with 20 touchdowns just in 2024 alone, and his career stats are nothing to sneeze at. 370 catches, over 170 yards, averaging 14 yards per catch, with a healthy 40 touchdowns. His yards after catch, YAC, average is about 4.8 yards, and he draws big-time throws frequently, with a contested catch rate of 55%. When you look at his numbers in 2024, he's been a top-tier receiver, averaging over 88 PFF grade. And in 2025, despite some injury bumps, he's been just as effective with 7 touchdowns in 11 games, maintaining a PFF grade close to 87. But the Bengals are in full rebuild mode. They're trying to shore up their offensive line, rebuild the defense, and manage their cap situation. With Chase's pending extension, they might need to ship out some players to free up cap space and get draft picks in return. And here's where the Bills come into the picture. Buffalo, with their need for a true WR2 after Gabriel Davis's inconsistency, especially with Dawson Palmer out for 3 games with a shoulder injury and Mecole Hardman on IR for the rest of the season, could be the perfect landing spot. Higgins would give Josh Allen that reliable deep threat and contested catch presence that could elevate the Bills' offense to new heights. Imagine Higgins running routes alongside Shakir, creating mismatches against opposing defenses. His vertical game could add over 100 yards to Buffalo's total, up from their current 800 yards. And his knack for big plays, averaging around 12 per game, would open up the field for Allen and the rest of the offense, especially in the red zone, where Buffalo's efficiency could skyrocket. The chemistry between Higgins and Allen could be a game changer, and the Bills would finally have that second reliable weapon they've been craving alongside Stefon Diggs. Now, let's talk about the specific impact this could have on the Bills' offensive scheme. Higgins is known for his ability to win contested catches, which is crucial in tight games, especially in high-stakes moments like the playoffs. His contested catch rate of 55% might not sound like much, but in reality, it's a sign of a receiver who thrives under pressure. When paired with Allen's ability to extend plays and create downfield opportunities, Higgins could be a perfect complement, especially on 3rd downs and in the red zone. His deep routes, which average 2 yards at the distance of catch, combined with his YAC, could make him a nightmare for defenses trying to contain Buffalo's aerial attack. In terms of analytics and advanced stats, Higgins' EPA per target of 0.22 places him among the league's more efficient receivers. His separation rate of around 82% means he's good at creating space, and that's exactly what the Bills need to help Allen avoid sacks and find open targets. Plus, His red zone touchdown rate of 20% last season indicates he's a reliable target when the game is on the line. All of this points toward a potential game-changing move for the Bills. With Higgins, the Bills could see their passing game take a significant leap forward, especially considering their recent struggles with consistency at the WR2 position. Losing Palmer temporarily and Hardman for the entire season has shown how much Buffalo relies on a versatile, reliable second receiver. Higgins would fill that role perfectly, giving Allen even more options and making the Bills' offense even more dynamic. From a strategic point of view, acquiring Higgins could also help alleviate some pressure on Stefon Diggs, allowing him to operate more freely on the outside, knowing there's a legitimate second threat stretching the field. It would also force defenses to pick their poison, double covering Diggs or trying to contain Higgins, which could open up the running game and other play-action opportunities. Plus, Higgins' ability to make big plays and gain yards after the catch would increase Buffalo's explosive play rate, pushing their offensive efficiency to new levels. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could have serious implications for the AFC East and the Bills' Super Bowl ambitions. Buffalo has been knocking on the door for a while now, and acquiring a player of Higgins' caliber could be the final piece to the puzzle. It's not just about adding talent. It's about sending a statement that Buffalo is all in on contending for another championship. With the Bills sitting at 7-4 and still in the thick of the playoff hunt, boosting their offense with a player like Higgins could be the difference maker in close games and playoff matchups. And let's not forget the ripple effect across the division. If Buffalo manages to add Higgins, it puts even more pressure on the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots, all of whom are trying to find ways to improve their offenses. The AFC East has become a battleground of offensive firepower, and the Bills making a bold move like this could tilt the scales in their favor for years to come. Of course, skeptics may question whether Cincinnati will actually pull the trigger on such a trade. They're concerned about losing a key piece on offense and the cap hit, but if the Bengals are truly prioritizing a rebuild, especially on defense and offensive line, moving Higgins for a third-round pick in 2026 could make strategic sense. It would give Cincinnati draft capital and help them focus on developing younger players, especially as they aim to rebuild their line and secondary. For the Bills, this isn't just about adding another receiver. It's about elevating their entire offense, making their attack more explosive and unpredictable. Higgins' skill set aligns perfectly with what Buffalo needs: deep threats, contested catchability, and big play potential. If this trade happens, expect the Bills' offense to become even more potent, with the potential to put up historic numbers in the second half of the season and into the playoffs. In terms of the upcoming games, Buffalo's offense could see immediate benefits. With Higgins on board, Allen could be more aggressive, pushing the ball downfield more often, knowing he has a receiver who can win those contested battles. The red zone efficiency could climb from around 58% to over 75%, providing the Bills with more scoring opportunities in clutch moments. And with defensives having to account for Higgins' vertical threat, the entire offense can operate with more space and freedom. Looking ahead to Super Bowl LXI, the odds for Buffalo to make a deep run could shift significantly. Bookmakers like DraftKings are already adjusting their projections, with the Bills moving from plus 900 to plus 600 in Super Bowl odds. That's a substantial jump, reflecting the belief that acquiring Higgins could be the final piece to put Buffalo over the top. The Bills would become a more dangerous, balanced team, with a higher chance of making noise in the postseason. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and trades like this always carry some risk. Will Higgins mesh well with Allen? Will Cincinnati get enough value? Those are questions only time will answer. But for Buffalo fans dreaming of another Super Bowl appearance, this potential move feels like a bold step in that direction. It's about building a legacy, about pushing the boundaries of what the Bills can achieve. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Higgins would be the perfect fit for Buffalo? Are you excited about the possibilities? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. Let's keep the passion alive and keep believing in the possibility of another Super Bowl run. Go Bills!